obviously, it's subjective, like women's behaviors, men's behaviors, and I don't want us to like trail down like the wrong direction. But I would just say this, like when it comes back to the conversation of like men being alone and everything that Shaq was talking about, right? I think one thing that we've all overlooked is that, like sure, there are plenty of men who are coming home to an empty home and feel alone, right? But where's the concession for the men that are coming home to a full home and feel alone? Like, what do you do about those? What are those men like? What do we do for those men? Like, what's the answer for them? Because we assume that because a man's coming home to a full home, right? Because there's kids in the house, there's a wife in the house. We assume that he doesn't feel alone. And it's like someone with a full family can feel just as alone as Shaq feels walking in that house. So it's like I think another thing that we're really dealing with that we're not really addressing is like we're dealing with the problem of like more and more men seem to be finding themselves alone, whether they got a family or not. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes it's their fault and sometimes it's not their fault. And I feel like the whole reason this space is even existing is because that's the real problem. A lot of men are feeling alone. Some of them are married.
So,
Some of them got girlfriends. So how do we fix that feeling of aloneness when you have somebody? You know
so,
what I mean?
so, Cloud, something like that could probably be, in my opinion, be fixed faster and a lot more easier than the man coming home alone. Because see, when I come home alone, I got to go out here and find somebody and surf through these bad heifers that y'all be talking about on a regular basis. I got somebody already, right? I got a family. I got my wife. I could do what I need to do to try to fix that. Whatever means of you feel like you're gonna need to fix it. Whether you going to counseling, spiritual counseling, or just sitting down having a one-on-one with your wife, whatever it takes. To me, I would think that's a lot simpler and maybe you could get settled and fixed faster than me going out here trying to find somebody and creating a home.
And I feel where you're coming from, Hank, but I think that answer is like an answer that the men of today are tired of. I think men of today are tired of the answer being, I gotta fix it. I'm coming home, I'm busting my ass at work, I'm coming home feeling alone, and I gotta fix this. I feel like that's the problem we're having. That's why we have this
That's a
manosphere
fair question,
space.
Clout. That's a
But no,
fair question.
but it,
Hold on. I,
it's not a fair question because the thing we've been fixing shit, regardless if we wanted to fix it or not. We've been fixing it ever since our existence. We've been fixing shit, whether it's emotional or physical. We've been fixing shit, so it's nothing new for us. We just got a lot softer than we used to be. We don't feel like we can handle it. Now we sound more like these women crying like
I don't
man bitches
I
and
don't
don't
think
want to
it
accept the
I don't know if
responsibility.
I don't know if I
We
agree with it
ready to
being
fold.
softer. I don't know if I agree with being
Oh yeah,
soft and not taking
they are.
responsibility.
Clap,
I think
clap.
men are at a point
These
now where it's
motherfuckers.
like I think that in earlier generations, men didn't think it was okay to defend themselves because the idea of even defending yourself against a woman meant that you were weak, right? So men of the past didn't defend themselves. The men of today are not like that no more. The men of today are like, if something's not going the way I want, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to do something about it, whether it be leave the relationship, whether it be check her. But it's that we're living in a different times, is what I'm saying. And so
So
again,
so this is
I think a lot of men would rather be alone by themselves than be alone with somebody.
so when you sit there and make that statement, they rather lead the relationship. They're no different from the women. So they are
How does that make
softer
them like the women?
because
Isn't
that's
a
what
man
the women.
supposed to lead?
If
Isn't a man supposed to lead? So
if a
how else
man
do
is
you
not
lead
willing to,
but with your
if a
actions?
man, if you're not willing to try to at least work and put in the work to try. I mean, put forth the effort. If you're just moving off your emotion, oh man, she made me mad today. Fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm gone. What's it? You? How are you any different from them?
See, this is hard for me to understand this, right? Because we usually call men that stick around for behavior that they don't like. We usually call them simps. We usually call them suckers. And now you're advocating for that very same behavior. Stick around in a
you
situation where
said
you're
the
not
fix
getting
it.
what you need out of it.
No,
Stick around in a
I
situation where your needs aren't being met. And to me, that
no,
doesn't sound very
I'm
masculine.
advocating for you
All
to
right,
fight.
all right, hold
I'm
tight.
advocating.
I was gonna say hold tight, you guys. Let me get Marcus in there, and then let's get Shannon to speak on the topic. Go ahead, Shannon. I mean, go ahead, Marcus.
Okay, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, Hank, but from what I heard, you gave tangible steps that could be done to fix what's going on within the house, be it spiritual, therapy, relationship advice, maybe getting a mentor that has a successful relationship, an elder to look over it and maybe give you some pointers here and there. When I see people in them situations where their relationships that I particularly see the dynamic may be off, it be small things that could be tweaked, but you have stubborn people. A stubborn person would rather fail doing it their way than find the right way to do it and just fix the problem. And I think that's what Hink's saying. The attitude of we don't have to fix things because we're equal. You got to throw that out the window. We gonna have
Everything
to
ain't fixable.
the
Every woman
things
don't cooperate.
the things we can fix. We gonna have to fix them. And hopefully you were in a situation where you didn't get deep into a relationship with somebody that really was unfixable. That's a whole nother issue. But if it's a small thing that needs to be done, or small steps, or a way you learn to communicate, or a way y'all learn to interact to make your relationship better, it behooves you to do what's necessary to keep your family intact and your kids with you as a family. It's silly to just throw the baby out with the bathwater, being stubborn or trying to sink your ship because you want to drive it in this direction. The
That's
other
true, and that's the obvious, right?
Now,
That's
that goes
true, and that's
both
the
ways, though.
hold on. That's true. Hold on. That's true, and that's the obvious. So I agree with that. But what we're missing is that we're living in a society where, again, a relationship is two people, and with everything that Kenny was just talking about, we're dealing with different women. A lot of what y'all talking about requires a cooperative woman. So you're saying you can fix it, and that's probably because in your experience you have a cooperative woman. But when I'm talking about the men who feel alone while they have somebody, they're usually not dealing with cooperative women. So again, what I'm talking about is like, what's the solution we give to those men? Because again, everyone does not have a woman that if they try to talk it out will listen. Every man doesn't have a woman that will agree to go into therapy. Every man doesn't have a woman that's going to agree to sitting down and reading the Bible and prayer. So it's like all of those things are great solutions if you have a submissive, agreeable woman. But y'all keep forgetting that the main problem that all the men are complaining about right now is that they can't find submissive, agreeable women to do all of that. So they can't even get the relationship fixed because they can't even get these women to hear them out. You understand what I'm
And how
saying?
did, how
So
did y'all
But
what
the
get to
y'all
end
are
of
the
the
point
day,
of
saying
they
is
chose
valid.
marriage?
them though.
I think what y'all are
How
saying
did
is
you get to the
valid.
point of marriage then?
But Clout, they chose those
How did
women.
y'all get to that
They
point?
Listen,
If
what
we
chose
y'all
talking
are
those
about
saying
women.
is
At the
valid.
end of
I
the
just
day,
think
how
it's
did
they
we get to
chose
inadequate.
them.
marriage?
One mic, y'all. One mic.
What
At
y'all
How
the
did
end
we
saying
of
get
is
the
to
day, they
marriage?
valid.
If
chose
they're
them.
not, my fault. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Hold
bro.
on, I just want to make it clear to y'all that I think everything y'all are saying is valid. I just don't think it's adequate for those type of situations that I'm talking about. But I think it's 100% valid. So I just want that to be clear.
All right,
So
hold
if
tight.
I,
Let me get Shannon. Let me get Shannon there real quick.
Yeah, let Shan cook. Shan need to cook.
Go ahead, Shannon.
What you got? What you got, OG?
Oh man, y'all.
Oh shit.
No, I don't got. Come on.
the precious song.
He, you say it's you believe that it's more simple to fix a problematic woman than it is to discover a problem-free one. I don't know, man. I disagree with that. The whole phrase "I could do bad by myself" is actually real for men too, and men aren't like women when it comes to running away from relationships. You know, we do try to fix our issues, but that's more related to the feeling of failure. Whole different conversation. Sweeney, you said men and women have unrealistic expectations today.
Mm-hmm. He froze up.
Oh, I'm back.
Right.
Yeah, my screen's shut up. I'm sorry about that. Sweeney, I was saying, you said that men have, I don't think that men have unrealistic expectations today. Not of a wife. You know, in fact, I think men have bottom of the barrel standards and expectations, and I wish they'd raise them. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm with my man Kenny on that one. And another thing, you guys, one thing that we have to remember, and I'm not coming for nobody on the panel, but we have to remember that a lot of married men will not admit that he's having problems when he is, because to do so will be saying that he's actually failing, and who wants to openly claim that they're currently and actively failing? So men will say that everything is good at home until it's not, and then next thing you know, I'm getting a phone call or we talking later.